I'm Noah, and today I attempted to interview people in public, strangers. It did not go super well. I tried to talk to a couple of guys about cars and asked if I could interview them, and they were like, I don't want to participate in this, or I'm too busy right now. And I said, okay, you do you. So that was about it. So today I went downtown and I found people on the corner who were waving Trump flags and signs, and I went over and talked to them and I asked them what their thoughts were on affirmative action. We actually had a really successful conversation. It lasted probably about 15 minutes. They were really nice, really cool people. There was respect between us, and we ended up having the same opinion on it, so that was pretty cool. And I would say overall it was easy and successful.
I was wondering, what gets under your skin? What annoys you? Yeah. Okay.
That makes me crazy. Or when someone stirs their coffee and they keep hitting the side of the cup.
Oh yeah, me too.
Makes me crazy.
Yeah.
The guy walking upstairs in my apartment like an elephant at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Really gets under my skin.
How do you handle these things when you get annoyed by them?
This I just avoid.
Mm-hmm.
If somebody's doing the coffee thing and I'm at the table with them, I say, would you stop that?
Yeah.
The guy upstairs, I just say a prayer that I can learn some patience. This is a lot bigger than I am.
And there's not much you can do anymore.
That's what happens when you live in an apartment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I guess I could live somewhere else
Yeah.
if I wanted.
You can get a broom and bang on the ceiling.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought
That's
about
true.
that, but then I might put a hole in the ceiling and the landlord will be on my butt.
Yeah, you can't do that.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
Hello, I'm back. Today, I went downtown again and I interviewed lots of people, and it was actually successful this time with, I think, every person I asked to talk to. I asked them about it's like a strong belief that they hold and why they hold that belief. I also talked to a couple of people about a more controversial topic. I asked them if they think there are two genders or more than two genders. And I also prefaced that by saying it's a school project and we're learning how to talk to people about difficult or controversial topics and kind of have some agreement or some respect. And that definitely helped ease some of their anxiety about a question like that being thrown at them. It definitely was difficult though for me to ask that question so straightforwardly and not know if they think I'm like gonna judge them or not. So yeah, there were some challenges today for sure, but it was pretty successful and everybody was pretty open to having a conversation.
So I was just wondering, what are some strong beliefs that you guys hold?
Strong beliefs, just in general.
Yeah, anything.
There's so many that come into my head. I guess just taking care of your own mental health and your own physical health.
Okay.
And that's your responsibility for yourself.
Yeah, it's a good one for everybody.
Yeah, I think that's been the most pivotal point in my life too, is the idea of protecting your peace and then also doing what you can to stay informed and help others. But
Okay.
my brain's going blank with anxiety.
Yeah, you're fine.
But yeah.
Is there any particular reason that pops up for both of you?
There's so many reasons. I think just navigating your own life, like you have to protect yourself and you have to make yourself responsible for your own fate. So I think if you just take hold of that on your own, then you'll have an easier time when other challenges come in front of you as you grow and learn and live your life.
That's true. That is.
I think, similar is the idea of, you're not in control of what your upbringing looks like. So the idea of investing in figuring out what your own path will look like and being able to build a different future for yourself and further generations. Yeah.
Thank you.
Hold still for the photo.
What do you mean?
It's a photo?
No, it's not. So we're with school trying to learn how to talk to people about things that are controversial, like talk to strangers and learn how to like find agreement and be respectful and everything. So I have the question of, do you believe that there are two genders or more genders?
I believe you can be whatever you want as long as you're respectful about it.
Okay. So like, as long as you're not being like mean to people when you tell them, when you correct them or something. Okay. But beyond that, you believe that people can be whatever they choose. Okay.
Don't be rude about it.
Yeah, that's a good one. Okay. Well, thank you. Are there two genders or are there more?
Two.
Okay. Why do you think that?
I don't know why anybody would think otherwise.
Okay.
I mean, there's always been two, and
Yeah.
until recent years, and all of a sudden somebody comes up with some kind of ideas. Well, there's more than two because somebody gets whacked out of their mind or quirked, and you know, to me, I call them fry brains. And they don't have bearings, they don't have principles, and so whoever comes along, they gotta go with it, which is amazing to me.
Yeah, because it's based on biology, right? Gender, like.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. I mean, God created Adam and Eve. You know, there was two genders. I mean, He didn't say God, Adam and Bruce. You know, his male and female. She came out of him,
Yeah.
out of his ribs. And if you study the anatomy of ribs and everything, it's amazing. I mean, God is very detailed. Everything can be proven right out into the scriptures. It's right on. It's accurate.
Yeah.
It's worth living for. It's worth dying for. Her name is Galen. I don't mind, but I mean, I'm open to people's ideas. But you know, I believe the number one thing is to me is to know what you don't. Know what you're doing and why, because it gives you cause and stability.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, look into different perspectives and then choose what you believe, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's created different, and you know, again, people have their own things, which is fine if somebody wants to do something, but but at least know what you're doing and why are you doing that.
Yeah.
You know, because to me, I want to make the difference in the world. I want to make the difference where I go. You know, I play music. I volunteer at the hospital in Prescott Valley on Fridays to play music.
Oh, that's
You know,
very
just
nice.
to help. There's so to serve humanity. It always comes back to you.
Absolutely.
And it's priceless.
Yeah.
And I'm glad you guys are doing this here. It's kind of nice to see you guys do it. You guys look bright and strong and young, and it's great.
Thank you for your time, sir.
Thank you very
so much.
Hello. Today we did the usual and we went downtown and I tried to interview someone and was rejected for actually the first time so far, which is pretty good. This lady did not want to be interviewed or recorded, so I moved on to the next people and I got to talk to a guy about vaccinations and his thoughts on that, and it all went pretty well. I would say it was a pretty good day. I talked to some more Trump supporters about some things as well. I listened in on some other people's conversations, and I would say we had some really good discussions.
Your thoughts on vaccines?
Ooh, okay. Sure. My wife is a nurse, and so she has she's done a lot more research than I have into vaccines. We have seen, I have 3 kids. We started, I don't know if you're talking about vaccines in general or, okay. So we started doing the regular vaccine program that the doctors would recommend, and we saw quite a difference. I think COVID really started to change how we viewed the vaccines as well, like the vaccine schedule. So now we haven't vaccinated, we have a almost 1-year-old, we haven't vaccinated him at all, and we haven't seen any difference in increased sickness or anything like that. And so we probably lean on the side of not vaccinating anyone, like, I don't know, full anti-vaxxers, but like, that's where we would lean, yeah.
Yeah. I personally am anti-vax, so I was just
Okay.
curious. So,
Yeah.
you're kind of saying you didn't notice a difference between being vaccinated and not.
Yeah, that and I don't know if it's just my older 2 children's personalities, but it definitely feels like there could be a correlation between, not hyperactivity, but you know, the possibility of ADD, ADHD. None of them had the COVID vaccine, but certainly, you know, all the regular, I mean, their first, I don't know, 6 months are vaccinated like 20 times. I don't know, it's a crazy high schedule. I don't know exactly what it is, but we definitely have leaned towards not vaccinating and haven't seen, like I said, an increased you know, rate of sickness or illness, or even feel like there's a higher risk of them getting a serious illness. So
Well, that's nice to hear. Yeah, and I do agree with the part about, you know, the potential ADD or even ADHD like symptoms kind of going along with the vaccines. I have also seen things like that happen. So
okay,
yeah,
very good.
yeah.
Okay,
Thank
cool,
you
cool.
for talking to me.
Hey, you're welcome. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Good luck on your project.
What are some kind of topics or opinions that you have that
Aren't political, but if you try to discuss them, they can get political.
Everything's political right now.
Yeah, I agree.
Human rights, genocide,
Yeah.
immigration.
There's a lot, honestly.
I mean, those are the things that are most on my mind.
Okay. Yeah. Have you had experiences
with trying to discuss those things and then people get super political about it?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Has that happened recently at all?
Yes, I moved here from the Northwest, so Oregon, Washington, where people are very liberal.
Yeah.
And I find I can't bring up a lot of, even though those are things near to my heart, I find that people don't receive it or don't receive my opinions
Well,
about it.
it's a very different culture here,
Yes.
so I could absolutely see how that would be
So-
nice, yeah. Yeah, you tend to just not really talk about that stuff with people
I
then.
throw it out every once in a
Yeah.
while.
Yeah.
I throw it out. Sometimes I can't help myself.
Well, that's okay.
So-
I mean, it's natural.
Yeah.
I feel like.
And I feel like I mean, it's important to me. And I feel like just staying silent all the time is the wrong thing to do too. So.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Well, I'm glad that, you know, even though it can be hard and people really have different opinions here, it's good that you at least still know that you need to make your opinion and your voice heard
Right,
sometimes.
right.
Yeah.
Well, I can't be a silent bystander, I guess.
No,
that's
absolutely
a good way.
not.
Any support for Palestine currently is perceived as anti-Semitic, which I absolutely don't agree with. Anti-Semitic to be in support of murdering women, children.
How did you kind of get accustomed to warming up to the different culture here?
It's just kind of by immersion. You know, you put a topic out there, a presidential candidate or something, and you find out immediately what people's belief system is, or you know, how they think. Just kind of stating why I would not, but not making a big issue out of it.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
That was.
You're welcome.
I enjoyed that. That was exciting. I was wondering, totally random, but do you know anything about the XL bully breed ban that occurred in the UK? It was like a ban on like bully breed dogs, specifically the XL bullies. So they were saying that they were too aggressive and stuff like that, and so they put a ban across the UK so that they can't breed them anymore, they can't sell them, and they can't like trade them or anything. And then also if you take your dog outside, it has to be on a leash always and have a muzzle on as well.
No,
Yeah, I think it was a
it's
couple years
sad.
ago. It is. I think it's really sad.
Like terrified, you put them in an apartment or whatever. So I could see that, but that's a hardship because you know I have a little dog and he's a little poop, but he's so aggressive around other dogs. Can't help it that he barks. I will make sure that he stays away from you, or you stay away from him.
Yeah.
Now that is sad. If they were to tell me I couldn't have.
And yeah, I also did have a pit bull before. I think it was on actually January 1st of 2024, I think it was. They euthanized like hundreds and hundreds of these dogs.
And nobody's not.
Nope. Yeah, and I think you had to pay to keep your dog, and if you didn't pay or something, your dog was euthanized. It's terrible. So yeah, I was just wondering if you knew anything about it and your thoughts on it, because you know some people might agree with it and think, yeah, these are aggressive dogs, they need to be gotten rid of, or you know, people like us.
If they
And also, it depends on the dog. You know, not all dogs are like this. You can't generalize. You can't
No.
say every single bully breed is aggressive. That's not true.
But just was with these pit bulls and they put them to fight.
I know, it's terrible. And then people wonder why they're so aggressive. It's
Aggressive.
like, well, they've been conditioned to fight, and they've been given steroids and God knows what. And it's like,
Yeah. Well, I hope they find a solution better than that.
Sorry to tell you this, like, it's so sad. I'm so sorry. I'm just curious if you can have your opinion, but thank you.
Gun
your thoughts
control.
on
Yeah, I own a gun and have a permit, so I am for the First, Second Amendment. I would defend myself and my family.
I don't think guns need to be banned all in general just because there's so much stigmatism with it, but there definitely needs to be serious control and background checks and stuff like that because guns are very dangerous and they can get in the wrong hands.
Today was the last day of the Look Both Ways intensive, and I have completed all of my street interviews. I would say I had a pretty good progression over the course of the intensive with my ability to talk to strangers and interview them and talk about controversial issues in the world. I feel like in each clip you can see me getting progressively more comfortable with like my body language and everything while I'm talking to people, and just being overall more relaxed. So I think that that's a good sign, and I did what I needed to do.